Okay, it looks like we are live. This is great. Good evening. Welcome to the channel. Sorry I started this live video off with how weird this is, and we're finally live. And the reason I'm doing that is because YouTube has been screwing me around today and not letting me go live. Well, we're here and we're live. So this is great. Finally. So the topic at hand, and hopefully you guys can hear me well, new microphone setup. A little bit different camera setup than yesterday. If you guys are liking the quality of this live stream in comparison to the live streams on the channel over the last year, smash a thumbs up. Let's go ahead and talk about the topic at hand, which is the GT500. Now, if anybody watches my channel, they know that I am pretty much an automotive lover. I love everything. I don't just like one car. I like everything. So I noticed the first teaser and figured this is going to be great. The GT500 is coming out. I have a Hellcat. Maybe I'll trade it in. And then they just been dropping us little teasers here and there or leaked information. And then the big teaser came with a shot of the supercharger or the top of it. And that was last year. And when I saw that teaser, I almost immediately fell in love with the fact that we're going to have a very high horsepower Mustang. And I told myself, you know what, I just might trade in for that car, except the only problem is for the past year, Ford has fallen off the face of the map. Now, the reason they've done this, we don't know. I'm guessing it's because of the fact that, you know, it was kind of like a bombshell when the Red Eye came out with demon horsepower and everybody could buy one. So that kind of threw a wrench into Ford's plan. Now, Ford did say that this is very weird, they did say this at the live show the other day that, hey, the GT500 is going to make more than 650 horsepower. Now, this is what I think. The reason they're saying it's going to make more than 650 horsepower, there's two reasons. The first reason that we're speculating on is because now they're going after the Camaro, which the ZL1 has 640. And the C7 Z06 has 650. So there's a very good possibility that Ford originally was going to drop 772 horsepower into the Mustang, but when they realized that the Red Eye was just making too much power, that it was basically pointless to try to compete with Dodge on a power game, which they can't do, and everybody knows they can't. So with that being said, I'm thinking that's, the possible, A scenario is that they had planned on 772 horsepower because that would beat out the Hellcat. The Demon had more power. It didn't matter because the Demon was limited and the GT500 would be a little bit more attainable compared to a Demon and cheaper. So they figured 772 would crush the Hellcat at 707. They probably had insiders that knew the Hellcat was going to be upgraded to 717. They weren't scared about that because they were going to be making more than 750, which basically was leaked everywhere at 772. And 772 is a far cry from 707 and 717, and a stock versus stock vehicle in the GT500 is going to be a little bit lighter. That is great for Ford. However, the fact that almost immediately after all these teaser videos and all this information that Ford has leaked, the Red Eye came out with 797 horsepower. So thinking of it like that, Ford has stepped back over the past 8 months, and scenario A is they realize they cannot take on, Dodge head on with horsepower. So now they have basically said, you know what, maybe we're not going to give it 772. Let's dial it back, get a little bit more handling out of it. Let's re-attain the car for a different purpose or slightly different. We're going to refine it for a little bit different than what we originally planned on, which was to try to take out Dodge or be equal to them. So, thinking about it like that, they said at the press conference last year it was going to be over 700 horsepower. Then they said it was going to be the most powerful Mustang ever created. And now they're saying it's going to be over 650 horsepower. So now that I've said that, scenario A, 650 horsepower or greater is what they said. It's going to have more than 650 because they want to go after the ZL1, and that's basically what they're going after since they can't go after, the Challenger and Charger, Hellcats, Demon, Red Eye, stuff like that. So saying, hey, 650 horsepower or greater than 650 horsepower means they're basically going to go after, like I said, the Camaro, and they're going to scare the Camaro that we have more power than you, and we're almost the same weight. We're going to have better handling. It's going to be the Voodoo engine, which is a cross-plane crank, not a flat plane. So less vibrations, less harmonic dampening required. It's going to be a little bit better overall. But, you know, with all that being said, as much sense as that might make, scenario B is actually the scenario that's most likely. So now that we've got scenario A out of the way, chasing the Camaro because it's going to have more than 650, now we go to the reality of what most likely, when I say reality, I mean like 80, 90% or higher, is the reason they said more than 650 horsepower. For two reasons. The first reason why this scenario makes more sense is because with the Challenger Red Eye making 797 horsepower, we're no longer wowed, or it's no longer a spectacle with 772 horsepower. So now they've changed their story to, A, it's going to be over 650. And that basically means that we're anticipating 700, maybe 675. And then when they drop the bombshell that it's 772, we're going to be like, wow, they said more than 650. And it's actually 772 or 775. This is insane. It's 100 more horsepower than they even said. So they're basically lowering our expectations so they can wow us at an incredible rate when they drop the information on the GT500. Then the second reason why they say more than 650 horsepower is maybe quite simply for the fact that the engine just is not capable of putting out 772, and they finally realized that. If you look at the specs for the GT500, it has a 5.2 liter Voodoo engine, and it's running 12 PSI on an Eaton supercharger, and I believe it's a 2.6 liter blower. I'm going to have to double check that right now on this this email and this page that I'm on. Let's see, because I was pretty sure. I just don't want to say 100%. It's a 2.65. So we're looking at a 2.65 Eaton supercharger, 12 PSI boost, 5.2 liter engine. So if we know anything about engines and basic specs, it's going to have a 10-to-1 compression. The Hellcat's a 6.2, and I think it's running 9.5-to-1 compression. And it's running a 2.4 liter blower. Now, the fact that it's a 2.65 means it's almost a 2.7. So if the Red Eye's making 797 with a 6.2 at 9.5 compression and a 2.7 liter blower, you know, we're running 14.5 PSI on the Red Eye. Hellcat's running 11.6. So if we cross all those specs together, you're going to lose a little bit on the displacement, but you can make up for displacement on revs. Revolutions will make up for displacement only in horsepower, not in torque. So they're making up for whatever they're losing in displacement, they're making up for it in revs for horsepower. You got a little bit more compression and a little bit more revs. So instead of like a 7,000 redline or 6,500 for the Red Eye, 6,400, you're going to get like 72 out of the GT500 probably, or 7,000. So you're going to get a little bit more revs. You got a little bit more compression, you know, 9.5 up to 10. And then we got almost the same size supercharger. So losing 0.5 on the supercharger and losing 1 liter displacement, but also having a little bit more compression and revs, means that the horsepower is going to be probably in the 740 range, 730, 740. Less torque, but the horsepower is going to be, is going to be basically pretty close. Now, I don't think it's going to be a 650. I don't know why Dodge has listed this vehicle at being, 650 horsepower, unless it's a phony, a fake, unless they're trying to, throw us off. With a 2.65 liter blower, 10-to-1 compression, 5.2 liter engine, high revving, I spec the engine at being in between the Hellcat and the Red Eye. I would say 772 is very accurate. So they're probably just trying to throw us off. We're looking at 772 horsepower, 750 horsepower, somewhere around there. The torque is not going to be like the Red Eye at 707 or 650 of the Hellcat. Smaller engine. Supercharger's not going to make up for torque that it's losing in displacement. Revs don't make up for torque either, which is why the GT350 made less torque than the Z28 Camaro. So I anticipate torque to be in the 450 range, maybe 500, maybe 550, but it's definitely not going to be 650 because the Hellcat has a bigger engine, and the more displacement you make, the bigger the torque numbers. And considering the GT500 has got a smaller engine, it's going to make less torque. Also, the blower is smaller, so it's overall just burning less fuel, so it's going to be less torque. So that's what I'm saying, 750-ish, 772 torque, going to be in the 550-ish. It weighs 4,200 pounds, which is 400 pounds more than the Camaro and 300 pounds less than the Charger, 200 pounds less than the Challenger. So I anticipate this to run a quarter mile of maybe 11 flat, 11.4. It just depends. It definitely is not going to be faster than the Red Eye at a drag strip. I can almost guarantee it. There's no way this car is going to beat the Red Eye in a drag race unless it's making more than 770. It's going to have to be 775, 780 minimum to beat the Red Eye. And the reason for it is because of the torque, which is going to help with the 60-foot. It's also going to help the 0 to 60 times. Not to mention, revs being really higher and shifting is definitely going to help. But the fact that the Red Eye's got a higher red line, and not only that, the automatic 8-speed ZF transmission with the torque flight is a very, and I mean lightning fast, very fast shifting transmission. So I don't see the GT500 beating the Red Eye in a drag race. I just don't see that happening. For it to beat the Red Eye in a drag race, it's, like I said, going to have 772 minimum. They're going to have their transmission and their shift points on par, and it's going to have to be good. The tires are going to have to be great. The weight is going to have to be 4,200 or less, which is where they're speccing it at with a good driver. It might be possible, but it's going to be close because the Red Eye is making more power. It's got a lot more torque, and the transmission is the best in the business. So we're going to see what Ford does, but Ford has released information on the transmission. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about that. It's an automatic. There's not going to be a manual as far as I know. It's not been talked about. With the transmission, there's this page here that I'm looking at that's released some information. It's pretty much spot on with the email that I received a couple of weeks ago. Now, they're saying it's going to be a Tremec 7-speed DCT transmission. And it's basically the TR9007 tranny. Now, that is great. Whether or not that actually comes in the car is another question altogether. The Tremec transmission that I'm referring to, if you don't know what that is, it's a 7-speed auto DCT tranny, which is very, very fast. Now, I don't know if it's faster than Dodge's transmissions. I don't measure transmission speeds. I'm not that kind of engineer, so I don't know. I don't know what they claim in the Tremec transmission. I just know that the torque flight in the Dodge is insane. So, as far as speed is concerned and for power handling. So we're going to have to see when it comes out. I really don't know what Ford plans, but I'm going to run through these specs one more time, then I'll take questions. That's going to be it for today's video. I don't want to go too long. So basically, what we're looking at is a 2020 GT500 is going to be spec, or Ford has said many times that it's going to be 772. Now they're saying it's going to be 650 plus. There's only two possibilities. They're either scared of the Red Eye because it got released, and they're going after the Camaro now instead, which is why there's been a delay, which is what I said originally, and keeping it in the 700 horsepower range would beat the Camaro, but it's nowhere near enough power to beat the Red Eye, or they're throwing us off so that when they do release it at 775 or 770, 772, whatever it is, we'll be shocked and wowed, and oh my God, everything will be great because they said 650 and they gave us 100 more. Either way, I don't think it's enough to beat the Hellcat Red Eye. I don't think so. Based on the numbers, 5.2 cross-plane engine. It's going to make up for horsepower with revs and a higher compression ratio over the Hellcat, 10-1 versus the Hellcat's 9.5-1. But you can't make up torque, and torque matters the most at a drag strip from getting off the line. It's also a great transmission in the Hellcat and beefy tires and the new launch control and boost limiter for gear to gear, which is in the Hellcat Red Eye. So the GT500 has its course set for it and its work set out to conquer, because it's going to be working its butt off to keep up with the Red Eye. In order for it to do that, it's going to have this dual clutch transmission, or DCT, from Tremec. It's going to have to be fast shifting, and 772 horsepower is the bare minimum they're going to need to beat the Hellcat Red Eye, considering it only weighs 200 pounds less than the Challenger. Just 200 pounds. And the Challenger's got like 30 more horsepower, and it's got more torque, like 150 foot-pounds of torque more, or pound-feet of torque. Doesn't matter how you say it, really, I guess. But in any case, you can't make up for that much torque when you only weigh 200 pounds less. Revs will make up for horsepower, like I said many times. It will not make up for torque. And considering it's already deficient on horsepower by almost 30, The GT500 has a lot of work cut out for it. So maybe Ford is going to wow us beyond the norm, and they're going to release it at being over 800. If you want to know the truth, it would not surprise me for a second, not even for a second, would it surprise me if Ford said, you know what, the hell with this. We're so done with Dodge. We're so done with everybody else. Just up the boost. Give it 15 pounds of boost. Up the power. We want 840, 850 out of this. We don't care. Just up it. Put a warranty on it. Let's just go all out. Will that happen? We don't know. Do we want that to happen? Absolutely. But we do not know if that's the case with Ford. I would love to see this vehicle get over 800 horsepower. I am not a fanboy. I love the Mustang. I love the Challenger. I love the Charger. I love the Camaro. I love the Corvette. I love cars, car porn. That's all I talk about all day long, every day. I love them all. So yes, I want the GT500 to come out. I want the GT500 to kick the Challenger's ass so that Dodge can go back and come out with a new car like the Angel and kick the Mustang's ass. And then I want the Camaro to get the new 755 horsepower ZR1 engine so it can kick everybody's ass. And then they can come back and kick the Camaro's ass again, and we're always going to have this war, and we're always going to have this horsepower. And I'm going to have to take a break because I'm getting very, very excited. Okay, I'm getting really excited, but that's what I want to happen. But in reality, what we're probably going to have is Ford sitting down and saying, you know what? Dodge has beat us again. We're just going to release this with 700 horsepower or 690. We're going to go after the Hellcat, and we're going to go after the Camaro mostly. We have no chance against the Red Eye or the Demon, and they're going to give up, throw in the towel. Very good possibility on that. That is not me talking crap about Ford. It's not. I love the Mustang. Let me clarify this. The GT500 is the car that I will probably trade my Red Eye in for. I'm almost guaranteed getting it. Please, Ford, if you're watching this video, do not back down. Make the GT500 have 800 horsepower. Show all of us Dodge guys. Show us that you want our respect and you want to make horsepower and you want to get into the game. Show us that you're going to give us the GT350R handling and autocross capabilities, which are second to none, and you're going to give us the power of the GT500. That's all I got to say about that. I'm done with that rant. Time will tell, just like Queen City Mopar has said. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the quality. Mash that thumbs up if you guys like the quality of the new live streams. The size of the blower is a 2.65 Eaton, which is not as efficient as an IHI blower, which are twin screw, I believe, or not sure if they're twin screw, but depending on the new Eaton blowers. I don't know what the new Eaton blowers look like, but they used to be E90s, which are very loud and inefficient. I don't know what Eaton is doing lately. I know the old blowers from the Bonnevilles and the Grand Prix and the old Mustangs and anything 10 years ago were an E90 blower, and they're very loud and inefficient. The new twin screw blowers and new technology that's come out with the IHI blower over the last 5-6 years are much better. All the German and European cars use them, so I'm not sure of its efficiency, but it's bigger than the Hellcat blower, but smaller than the Red Eye. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video on the GT500. There's just so much going on with it. I just really hope that Ford doesn't drop the ball here. It's going to be announced at the auto show in Detroit on the 14th of January. And hey, I can't say it again. I told you so, guys. A lot of people didn't believe me. I said the GT500 is going to get announced at the auto show in New York in February of 2019. They released it a month earlier than I said. I told you guys you'd have all the information you wanted to know come winter 2019, and here we are. So you guys just got to wait till January 14th. The Red Eye, I think, went into D1 status. I'll be making a video about that. The Red Eye is actually going across the assembly line Monday. That's what I believe. I'm pretty sure it went into D1. We'll get into that in another video. I've got another video on GM putting 15,000 employees out of work and dropping the Silverado and Sierra. That's insane. We'll talk about that on the next live stream and vlog or podcast, which is what I'm going to be calling these, on Monday. And don't forget to check out my brother's new channel, This Can't Be Happening. No spaces or apostrophes, just straight across This Can't Be Happening. He just started it. We're going to definitely going to talk about more stuff on Monday. I am hoping you guys enjoyed it. Thank you to Bill, Frost, Queen City Mopar, and everybody in here. Smash that like button. We didn't get a whole lot of views on today's video. Normally I get in the 200, 300 range in the first 20 minutes. We're at the 20-minute mark now, or I think 25. I don't know exactly how far we're in this video, but we only ended up averaging 30 to 45, so it's about a third of what we normally get. I don't know why. Maybe nobody cares about the GT500. I don't know, but like Frost says, only time will tell. Thanks so much for everybody stopping in. Don't forget to check out the shirts at the store, drivewithdemons.com. Check it out, drivewithdemons.com. Get the merch there, t-shirts, hoodies, key tags, and more. If you're stopping in for the first time, go ahead and subscribe, thumbs up, comment below, smash that like button, everybody. Thank you so much to everybody in this chat and video right now. Like I said, thank you, Standing Tall Trucking. I appreciate that. And if you guys like the quality of this video, make sure to watch this video again when YouTube posts it, like it, and comment again. Let me know if you like the quality of this camera, if you like this view, and it's better than it was before. I think it's a lot better, a little harder to set up. I'm a real tech guy when it comes to video, but I want to make sure you guys can hear me better tonight. You can see me better. No issues. If you guys are liking it, share the channel. We're about to hit 19,000 subscribers. My channel's been on fire the last 7 days. We're going to be doing a podcast multiple times a week. A lot more organization on the channel as well. And thanks to everybody in here. I love you guys. All of you are just awesome. You guys are supporting the channel, and without you, I wouldn't be here. So we're going to have a lot of fun, and like I said, I'm working on a review. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Sorry for the technical difficulties, and that's probably why we're low on viewers right now, because it went on and off and on and off and a bunch of times. But I've now got it figured out, and I now have an understanding of why YouTube was hating on me for a little bit. So we'll catch you on the next video, guys. Take care until the next video. Thank you, everybody in here who watched once again. You guys are awesome. Watch this video again once it posts to YouTube. Comment, share, let me know what you guys think, and smash that thumbs up. If you're not a Ford guy, hey, you must be a car guy, and you guys know as well as I do that an 800 horsepower Shelby is still pretty damn badass, if you ask me. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you, B-Rabbit. I sincerely appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. And not only do I want to have great content, but great quality is also the most important thing. So we'll see you guys on the next upload. Check out my other videos. Lots of content. I try to upload 5 times a week. We'll see you guys on the next video again for the 3rd time. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. Totally awesome. We'll see you on the next video. Take care. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you Monday. And there's going to be an upload over the weekend on a review. See you soon, guys. Take care.